Let's talk about some basic bulb upgrades to get better quality lighting out of your Volvo model. Now, every Volvo model that uses a halogen style bulb from the factory, which is most models starting from about the late 80s and early 90s all the way up until they switched to the bi-xenon on most of the new models in the late 2000s. Now, these models all came with a standard halogen bulb, which was already a big improvement over the old style sealed beam bulbs, which came on a lot of the earlier models. Now, there's a whole multitude of options out there on the market for upgrading the bulbs to try to get some better quality light and better light output, but we found that the best manufacturer, in our opinion and our experience, is PIAA. PIAA makes a whole different line of bulbs that can increase the color of the light, change the quality of the light, give you better contrast, all these things. Now, we've chosen to carry a couple ones that we found useful in our Volvo models. So let's talk about a few of the differences, what makes each line of their bulbs different than a standard bulb, and why you might want it. First, let's talk about a standard halogen bulb. Now, for this example, we're going to talk about an H7 bulb, which is found on many different model Volvos. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is the standard halogen that we carry, made by Flosser, which is our favorite high-quality standard replacement bulb. And if you look at it, it's just the regular old halogen that you're used to. Clear glass on it, it's going to give you that standard halogen look out of the light quality, which is going to be a little bit yellow, and that's kind of normal for a standard bulb like that. Now, the two other options we offer are the PIAA Night Tech and the PIAA Extreme White Plus. Now, starting with this one, which is our PIAA Night Tech, let's talk about how that is different. Now, this one is kind of a mid-level from PIAA. It's going to be more expensive than a standard bulb for the pair, but not as expensive as the Extreme White Plus. And these ones are comparable to, say, a Sylvania Silver Star in the fact that they're going to be more of a focus on a whiter light rather than a significantly brighter light. Now, the light output is a little bit higher, but it's also a big step in the right direction as far as getting better contrast and getting better quality of light. So even though you might have something that has the same wattage as a standard halogen, it's going to be a lot less straining when you're driving somewhere in the dark when you have that light that goes from a yellow, like a standard halogen, to a more kind of bright white, like you'll get out of the PIAA Night Tech here. Now, moving on from that onto the PIAA Extreme White Plus, this is kind of PIAA's top of the line bulb. And these ones are really helpful if you kind of like a little more modern look as well. And that's because they go a little bit past the Night Tech, and they actually have a tiny bit of a blue tinge on the bulb, and they have a little bit of the blue on the tip of it. And that's going to change the look of the car when you're looking at it from the front, because if you have a clear lens, in many of the cars, you'll actually be able to see that a little bit. So it'll have a little bit of a fleck of blue in the headlamp when the car's just sitting there off. Now, if you like that look, it's cool. If not, you might want to stick with the Night Tech. And the other difference you're going to get is when it goes off, it's going to cast a more of a cool white, which is maybe a little bit blue to the eye, but really is kind of just a very extremely white color. So same thing as with the Night Tech, you'll get a little bit more of a bright contrast. Now with these ones, you're going to get a little bit more light output as well. And it's the same idea, less straining on your eye, better contrast, better quality of light, as opposed to necessarily just flooding the road with a whole bunch more light. Now if you wanted to change something like that, it's a whole different story, but if you're talking just easy upgrade, these are good options for you. Now if you have questions on these ones, which might be better for you, check our website. We've got good descriptions, and we have picture comparisons as well. A sometimes overlooked bulb that you could consider replacing if you're looking for a better quality light is going to be your fog lamp bulb. Most Volvos use either an H1 bulb in the fog lamp like this or an H3. Now we carry both of those in a standard bulb, just like you'll see here, which is the clear lens and it's going to give you a decent quality light. If you do want to upgrade those, we carry another one by PIAA called Plasma Ion Yellow. And these ones have a pretty fancy name and a fancy box, but the gist of it is they have a really nice, what they call a crystal yellow coating on the bulb. What that means is going to give you off a more of a yellowish color fog lamp, which is real common on fog lamps. And the reason is because a yellow light is going to spread better through and give you some better light visibility and better output than you would if you had a real bright white lamp. When you have a real bright white lamp or a standard halogen even, trying to get that thing brighter, all it's going to do is make it worse in the fog because it's just going to illuminate the fog, whereas the yellow kind of cuts through that a lot better. So that's the gist of it about getting better quality light output from your standard halogen bulbs with a couple of the offerings that we have. As always, if you have questions on applications or part numbers, you can always give us a call or check our website for further information and pictures of examples of the light quality difference in these bulbs at www.ipdusa.com.